Number one, my name is Matt, and I'll try to be your host. I'm joined by our webmaster, Carl.
Hey everybody.
Hello. All right. We are not a real estate firm or insurance company, so if you found us through Google, I am both amazed and perplexed, but hopefully you can search and find us on various search engines soon. This is our first go at this. This is my first go at hosting, so you'll have to forgive the the uhs, and all the stupid shit I say. And I guess we'll get right to it. Self-introductions. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I guess my name's Carl. I decided to make this website probably about 6 months ago because I noticed there's a lot of games that I like and I know that a lot of other people enjoy that weren't getting the out in the media and out to the public because it just didn't have as big of a fan base as like Call of Duty or anything.
What about you? Where you come from as a gamer, sir?
Uh, I grew up playing RPGs mostly, and then recently, probably in the last 2 years of this generation, I've been a diehard fighting game fan. But other than that, I just try to go for the low ground games. Like one of my favorites is White Knight Chronicles.
Yes, it is.
Lots of hours lost in that game.
Yeah, I can tell. My turn?
Yes.
Alright, my name is Matt, as I've said. You might know me as Sir Crush across the internet. I'm everywhere. Discussion boards, you name it. I'm Sir Crush. Yes, that's me. If I said something you didn't like, fuck you too. Um, my gaming background, I started playing RPGs as well when I was a kid. I actually really got into Super Mario Brothers when I was really little. Found out I was good at it and fell in love with video games, and the rest was history. Uh, I came into this website with basically the same goals in mind. We wanted to try something different, and yeah, a lot of games out there don't get the credit they deserve. They don't get looked at like they should. One of our features that we came up with a couple weeks ago, Double Take, is a way for us to look at a game after it's been out for a while, and we can look at it again, look at its online community, how it's still running, do different things like that that you don't really see anywhere. Um, I like mainstream gaming a lot, but I've been getting a lot more into the under the radar stuff, mainly for the site. But I found myself enjoying them, indie games and stuff that wasn't my cup of tea before, but now it kind of is. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like to double take a lot too because if you read a lot of the gaming magazines, like a good example is Game Informer. I was reading their God of War review, I think it was last month, and they only gave it an 8 and they said that it wasn't as godly as it used to be, but they only wrote like maybe 3 lines on the multiplayer. And then I don't play it a lot, but it's definitely worthy of at least a 9 in my opinion, understanding that it is just their opinion, but I don't think they gave it too much of a shot in the multiplayer to give it a number that it deserved.
Right, and that was sort of the game that prompted me to do a double take because I read what a lot of other sites were saying. I had my own opinions. I played through the game. I thought it was fantastic. It was definitely an evolved version of all the God of Wars. I mean, the combat system's much better. The puzzles are a lot more difficult to figure out. Not a lot more difficult, but definitely more difficult. And I just thought the overall gameplay was good. So I could not, for the life of me, figure out why is everybody giving this a 7 and an 8. So I went back to it, played it a little bit more and more and more, and I developed a second opinion, which is pretty much the same thing. So my conclusion is a lot of these reviews across the internet are really just a single person's point of view. And I've heard that said so many times before, but I'm really, really starting to notice it now that I'm starting to do my own writing in the game stratosphere.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, like the biggest thing for me too is like I don't want the front pages of our website to have like Call of Duty Ghost on there because that's on every single website and it doesn't give all the other great games that are out there right now. Like Soul Sacrifice is one that I just started playing on the Vita. You haven't heard too much about it, but it's actually really good. I think it might get Vita of the year.
Wow.
But like Call of Duty is just all over the place for November for Ghosts, and I kind of want to cover other things.
Yeah, to make a long story short, I guess what you're saying is if you want to read Call of Duty news, find it anywhere else. But I don't know that we'll be doing too much coverage on Call of
Get
Duty.
ready for the
We'll
next
see.
battle.
If they pop out with something that surprises me, I might cover it just for the sake of it's worth covering. But other than that, no, I have no interest in a lot of the big time mainstream games. However, like I said, I love God of War, and I love doing coverage on that, and that's kind of a mainstream game too. So there will be times when we do mainstream stuff.
Yep. Well, I mean, most of them, like I've been talking to people, like we have one affiliate from PlayStation Addiction, and they cover like the Call of Duty games at least for PlayStation. But I mean, they're all the same minus the console it's on. So I mean, you can get a good number from that too.
Yeah, and as of now, all I'm playing is really PlayStation stuff, but I try to do cross-platform PlayStation stuff as much as I can. Because I really don't have an Xbox. I would have one if I could, but I can't, so I don't.
I used to have an Xbox, but I was turned off by having to pay for the Xbox Live. But I do go over friends' houses from time to time and get my hands on some Xbox games. But same thing, I try to do like the cross-platform games that have it for multiple consoles.
Yeah, do you have PlayStation Plus? I have a lot of friends with it. I never bothered to look next to your name.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I think 2 years, $100, but I've gotten like at least $500 worth of free games, and I mean, you get into the betas about like 2 days earlier than everybody that just signed up, so it's worth it for me.
Oh yeah, sometimes a week early or sometimes a month early.
Yeah.
What was it? Going back to God of War Ascension's online beta, you got 2 weeks ahead of time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was Dust 514. I think you got like a month, almost 2 months on before everybody else had access to it.
Right. I played that one briefly. Was not that impressed. A little bit complicated, confusing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's the problem with free-to-play games too. Is like, I mean, yeah, the quality has to be pretty up to par, but after they launch it, if it's not making money, they're not going to be able to make it easier for users to use and keep updating it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so anything else you want to talk about what we've been playing? I would like for our podcast to be different than others. First time out, and like I said, this is my first time hosting anything. I'm usually just a co-host who chimes in and says something stupid every now and then. But for now, I think we can just go into what we're playing. Like everybody else does this until our podcast evolves. I guess we will too. So what have you been playing?
Mostly I've been playing Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I've been kind of addicted to it. I got a good team on there, so we play ranked a lot. And then if I'm not playing that, it's either Final Fantasy VI. I'm working on a new article type where you go to like a throwback game, and then you put yourself into the role of what I'm gonna go and call an observer. So it's somebody that's there, but he's not there, and he's giving a different perspective to what's going on through the story. So it's helping me, you know, think out of the box while I'm playing the game and noticing a lot of different things that I didn't notice before. And then it's gonna be a multi-series article. So I'm gonna put up the first one. Probably I'm shooting for tomorrow. And then it'll be like 6 more after that, going throughout the story of what's happening from his point of view, instead of just giving you a biased opinion from the main character. And then, other than that, I'll go ahead.
What do you mean an observer? As in, like, hypothetically, somebody who's in the game watching what's happening, or just your schizophrenic other personality?
Well, it could be one or the other. I haven't really decided yet. As it could be a physical character that's kind of like an extra that you can, like I can see, but if you were to play it, you wouldn't be able to see, and you'd have to put yourself in that character spot. Or it could just be me, you know, from another personality's perspective of kind of like seeing what's going on.
So it's kind of a its own take on the double take.
Yeah, kind of. But like I said, I think for me at least, it would really only work for the classic games that I played them well over once. I think I beat this game like 6-7 times. So like it's a lot easier for me to look around all the events. It's not my first playthrough, so I don't have to spend as much time analyzing everything because I've done it so many times.
So what will you be analyzing?
Well, Final Fantasy VI right now. I'm trying to relate of having like a past experience of seeing a strange girl interact with an Esper. I'm about that point, like you just got done with that boss fight with the snail. But like, it's a feeling that you've seen before. And then I'm going off of that right now. Like, it's something that the character that's not actually in the game is seeing, and he's like, I've seen this before. And then he's going to interact with other games in that series.
That'd be interesting. I'll make sure that you have to let me know as soon as that goes up. I want to check that out.
Yep, I'm shooting for tomorrow for the first one, and then hopefully people let me know what they think about it and if I can continue it or not, because it does take some time.
Sounds like it. Six article series. That's gonna be some time.
Yeah. I think the best way to put it is more like an adventure journal of like what's going on, like what you did, but somebody else is writing it from a third person instead of.
I think you just came up with what it's going to be called. The Adventure Journal. I like that. I do.
Yeah, maybe change journal to log, but it does sound good.
Huh. Well, anything else? You been playing anything else?
Just picked up yesterday the record of the Agarus War Zero, and it's a really good tactical RPG. But I don't know if I'm going to sink as much time into that as I am Final Fantasy VI. How about you? What have you been playing?
Me, just this week, and I'm going to get a little long-winded here, but I have been playing God of War Ascension online a lot. I played a little bit of Twisted Metal, but that was my game of last year, and I played that a lot. But I just checked back into that game, played it a little bit, and threw back in God of War. And the online portion of that game I wanted to talk about for a minute, because I was playing the hell out of that. It feels very skill based. It's not quite as reflex intensive as like a fighting game, but definitely more than most other games you'll play. So you need to have good reflexes. You need to know what you're doing, know how to link different attacks together, all that stuff. And it was a lot of fun. But this game is missing custom options for your games. It's you can only, first of all, you only get a 4-man party, and they have up to 8 players. You know, your team favor of the gods mode, which is the standard mode that everybody plays. You can put a party of 4 together and go 4-on-4 with 4 randoms or whatever. But you can't set up an 8-man party or set yourself to go up against another 4-man party or anything like that. It's just whatever 4 people get together, you play the game, and that's that. They really need to add some way of developing a competitive scene, in my opinion. A way to get 4 people together, and so you can take on another 4 people of your choice and go at it. And you know, whether or not there's leaderboards or standings, I mean, that can be community driven, but at least have a way to where you can compete against others instead of just going up against randoms. Because to be honest, I got really good at that game. I am very, very good at that game. One of the better players I've played with is myself. And that's dirty, but don't go there. So when I go in there, I get with other players that are nearly as good. Some of them are better than me, and we go take on randoms, and it's just not fun anymore. I mean, we slaughter these people. Rage quitting is rampant in that game. It just is. I mean, you go up against the 4 of us, and you're not going to want to play. And people don't. They leave. They leave left and right. And there's no late join, nothing like that. It's just when they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
Let the timer tick down, and you win. Yay, whoop-de-doo. So I wanted to say all that just to reflect on a few days ago. I decided to put this game down. They came out with some DLC, some interesting looking DLC, which I haven't got my hands on yet. People say it's good. There's just weapons and armor, and that's it. No new maps yet, which that's another thing. The maps are getting really tired. There's only 4 large maps and 4 small maps. So playing those couple, me 1,500 times, yeah, it's kind of old. So I'm kind of done with that game until and if they put in something like custom games, larger parties, new game modes, new maps. I mean, they really need more to it. The gameplay itself has plenty of depth, but just the experience, it's kind of shallow. I hate to say it because I have a lot of fun with that game, but it's kind of shallow based on those things. So that's my long-winded spiel on God of War Ascension. But another couple things I've been playing lately. I did download The Cave. I haven't gotten into that yet, but I plan to do that this weekend. Play that a little bit, or a lot, I don't know. I have been playing Sleeping Dogs, which is another one of those games that I think was underserved by its review scores around the internet. I mean, I read the review scores. They're 8s. I mean, this game is a 9 or above easily. It's Grand Theft Auto with better gameplay. I mean, better gameplay and better story. I mean, how can you go wrong?
It probably doesn't have as many cheats either.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the GTA cheats. I just played it once through, and